All right. We are live for our next session of Dagger Core LLC, Dagger Core Investigations LLC, though that name may be changing. Anybody want to do a brief recap?
What I remember, after the whole museum incident, at least for Dag, with his hands turned to mush, we went and found the specialist that would take care of that, and the Uber dollars and the week's worth of time it's going to take to get the fast healing.
We all pitched in a bit of money to help with that.
Yep.
Dag's one of us now.
Seems reasonable. He broke his hand saving everybody else, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of required at that point.
And I don't know, Pete, maybe how did we resolve the whole Mofar and Morar incident?
Let's see. Sharp made his impassioned speech to Morar, which seemed to get through to him, and he, I believe, dropped the axe, and since he had spider climb, he climbed away from the building and left, and eventually ended up, I think I went back to, I can never remember this guy's name. Is it Mace Wormglove? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, went back to Mace.
Well, before that, you failed some saves and ended up falling out of the sky through a bunch of tarps overhangs.
Correct, yes. But I did have the coins.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the feather fall.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. And I ditched
could have been much worse.
I ditched the dread helm at one point, hurling it to land somewhere below. Ran into Mace, talked to him, and then I ended up visiting the Readrins and getting some clothes, and they still wouldn't accept me as a fellow Readrin. I was very disappointed. And then I had some work done so I wouldn't have to remember who Morar was anymore. So I don't know if I remembered all those nice things that Sharp said either. So that's going to be something I have to think about. And then made my way back.
So a couple other things just to add on to. Sharp used an action point to do a flashback, and he dulled the axe blade, but
Correct.
Since it still is a 30-pound edged weapon, even if it is dull, Lance Hardwood, Flamebearer Lance Hardwood, instead of being killed, was just crippled.
Yes.
I think that was nice of him, though, just to cripple the guy rather than kill him.
You guys also met Dustin's character.
Hamarath?
Hamarath. Yes.
The weirdo.
He's a dwarf artificer.
Alchemist.
Yes. Specifically an alchemist.
Yeah.
And then also, I know Sharp and Sharp also had to do some dodging around the city trying to get away. I can't remember what. There was something that went wrong, but I can't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah, because Sharp had to do a lot of running around to get away at the end.
Yeah, he ended up at the old office, right?
Yeah, the old office is where he ended up, and yeah, then we started going looking for them, Silhana and the people who were at the new office, and we stumbled upon a shop at the old office, and then we found Jofar stalking us very badly, but didn't really want to say anything to make him feel bad about the entire thing.
I think also, didn't Solana and Sharp, I can't remember if it was just before the heist or if it was after, because the heist happened, wasn't it later in the evening, just before the last...
Just after the last service.
Right. So I think Solana, you didn't have to worry so much about it because I think you just put the mask on right away, right?
Correct. When we got to the office the first time, I put it on.
And then, but Sharp, that was one of the things I think didn't go so well for him. And he ended up having a couple of levels of exhaustion trying to fight the transformation. Since whatever magic is preventing it from happening seems to be wearing off. So I think in general, you guys are back at the Sparkling Alchemist, correct?
I know that Sharp and I were going to stay the night at the old office, and then after we discovered that everything seemed to be fine, we were making our way back.
Okay, right. So we ended last session with Sharp about to put on the mask and take a rest. So one thing that you noticed, Solana, being there with him, is he doesn't wake up in the morning. He's still alive. He's still breathing. But he sleeps. Sharp, normally sleeps in. But at some point, you realize, wait, he hasn't been drinking lately. He hasn't been transforming. And, he seems to be sleeping well past what he normally would.
Oh God, it's like 1 PM then. Sharp, you want to wake up? I'm going to shake him and try and wake him.
He does not stir.
Well, that's not... Is he still wearing the mask?
Yes.
Is it warm to my touch?
It is very warm.
I'm going to remove it from him.
You try to remove it, but it's stuck.
I try and put my 2 fingers between the mask and his face.
You can't get even a fingernail in there.
Oh, Jesus. Does it seem like his face is swollen or the mask has shrunken?
Neither.
And the straps on the back of the mask, can I loosen them?
The straps you can loosen, but the mask doesn't budge any better with the straps being loose.
Oh, dear. Oh, this is certainly less than ideal. Shoot. And he's still sound asleep at about 1 PM, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How much does Sharp weigh?
That's a good question. He's a pretty decently sized person, but he is human, so I'm just guessing. Well, you know what? Maybe I don't
just
have to
use
guess.
imperial tons. We don't have to use metric for this.
Let me see if he has... I think he might have given me access to his character on Dice Cloud, so let me see if it's there. Because it might have his weight in there.
So I think I have 12 strength, and I don't have a lot of my crap with me because I left most of it at the office, so I might be able to drag him with me. But yeah.
And then birding style.
Yeah, I can't really go ahead and leave him at the old office, if I'm perfectly honest. Because at any minute, people might come running in to burn the place down for the rat people. I'm here with him alone. Damn it, Sharp.
Yeah, so I can't oh wait a minute, maybe a second. So I can't find his character sheet, but I'm gonna guess that, you know, it might give or take a few pounds, but he's probably around 200.
Okay, and I have a carry weight of, I believe, let me check, 180. Like I said, I don't have most of my stuff with me. So would it be possible for me to kind of drag him like a drunk friend with me?
You could.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about him wearing the mask?
Oh, just put a cloak over his head.
Okay.
That's not a big problem, and there's nothing I can do with the mask. I'm I'm not exactly a scientist or someone expert in the arcane or the religious.
So yeah, there's probably a spare cloak, or at least something that you can easily fashion as a cloak with your forgery or disguise kit.
If nothing else, I can just put mine on him and I'll be fine.
And so yeah, it will be a struggle, but you can kind of, you know, put his arm around your shoulder and drag him somewhat, but
Yeah.
which, you know, that's not an uncommon sight around Precarious.
That's what I was hoping. Yeah.
Once you get up into the higher levels, though, where the Sparkling Alchemist is, that might be different. And also getting him up there.
Yeah, that's what is it's stairs to get up there, correct?
No, it would take you forever to use the stairs to get up there, especially carrying him.
Yeah.
There's not really, I mean, there are stairs in Sharn, but the primary way people transport between the levels is via Soar coach.
Okay. Would I be able to get a taxi then?
Yeah.
I'll hail a taxi.
So, give me an athletics check. Are you proficient?
Athletics, no.
Okay, then instead of that, because I was going to do an athletics, but constitution. So give me just a constitution check.
Okay. That is a 16.
Okay. So you're definitely breathing hard by the time you are able to walk sharp over to where you can hail one of the SOAR coaches. But not so bad that you would take a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
So you hail one of them, and then as you are putting Sharp in the coach, the taxi driver is kind of like, looks like you guys had a good night.
Oh, to say the absolute least. Though I think that he went ahead and had a bit too much.
Well, where are you headed?
We are going to, what's the name of the region we're at now?
Oak Bridge.
Oh, yeah, Oak Bridge. We're heading to Oak Bridge.
You want me to take you somewhere specific, or you want me to just drop you off on the level?
The Sparkling Alchemist, if possible.
You're going to have to give me better directions than that. Lots of places up in Oak Bridge all over.
Okay. Would I know directions? I wasn't here for the,
You have keen mind, right?
Yes, I do.
So you would know. You'd be able to communicate exactly where it is.
You make a right up by the church, then you continue on for about 300 meters, then you make a left and go about 27 yards.
Well, you guys actually have an address, and I can't remember what the number is. That it also includes letters in it, but it's on Khyber Street or Khyber Avenue or something. That's what you guys
1536 Triangle, Khyber Square.
That's it.
Oh, hey.
All right, so it takes you about an hour. You get back to the Sparkling Alchemist. You're able to drag Sharp into the thing. Oh, by the way, the fee is going to be 2 copper pieces.
Wait, what? 2 copper pieces.
Oh,
Correct?
2 crowns.
Okay. Not a problem. I'll give them to him along with 2 more as a tip.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure.
You get your person there home safe.
I'll get him plenty of water and put him to bed. And I start dragging him.
All right, so so Dag and Peter, what's your character's name again?
Go far.
Jofar, that's right.
Yeah.
Are you guys both at the Sparkling Alchemist?
Yeah, it would depend on what time of day. What's the timeline we're talking about at this point?
Probably mid-afternoon.
Yeah, but how far out of all the incidents are we? I mean, Dag has he had a couple of days to work to have his hands treated, or
Not yet. Dag has probably had maybe 1 healing session, maybe 2, because this is only happening like 2 days. I would say it's 2 days since the heist.
Okay.
Joe, I need help. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So buying him a dress.
All right. So I will assist Dag in his proper what he needs to do.
We don't need to go into further detail.
Why not? We need to RP this.
I need to see. Is it buttons? Is it string that ties it up?
It's just a string. It's just a simple knot. Pull the string.
So let me make a roll. I need to do a dex check. See
Dex
save.
how long this will take.
Maybe
Is
a
it
wisdom
the red
check
string or the
too.
green string? Don't cut the green string, no matter what.
Okay, yeah, I think. Sleight of hand, that's 14.
No, it's an 18 for him.
Ah,
Yeah.
Been saving that up for a while, have you?
well, I didn't want to bother you.
You gonna hold it, or you just gonna let spray everywhere?
As you say that, all right, we can move on.
Okay. The bit is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough for now.
Consequences. Love them. So Jofar and Dag, you see Solana struggling to bring Sharp into the Sparkling Alchemist. Also, as you see Silhana dragging Sharp and walking in, everybody give me a perception check, including Solana.
Oof. Okay. Oh, Jesus, I'll take that. 22. Oh, good.
What do we roll? What is the roll?
Perception?
Perception.
15.
Okay.
17.
All right. So definitely Josh, but also Dag. Well, since most people succeeded, so you guys notice Solana. As you walk in with the sun kind of behind you, you see your shadow creeping along the ground, and you notice it doesn't look like you remember or would expect.
My shadow, or the shadow with
Your shadow.
my shadow?
Yeah, and as you look closer, at the shadow and you kind of examine it. Your fingers look to be claws. Your face is a bit elongated, and you notice ears popping up at the top of your head on your shadow, and there's also a tail. That was the big giveaway, was the tail.
Oh no! How does Sharp's shadow look?
His shadow is fine.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's unexpected. And I glance behind me. There's no giant rat there, is there?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's rather unsettling.
What? Dag might have noticed.
Oh,
Dag did.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jofar didn't, but Dag did.
Thank God.
So Dag would be looking at Silhana and looking at the shadow. How's that work?
I don't have any idea, considering that shadows are just supposed to be represented by light.
And I was like, come here. And I'm going to look. I would touch your nose, but think better of it. And I'm just studying your face. You seem normal.
Oh, tell me, do I have claws when I push them against you here? Or do they feel like fingers?
What do I feel?
That's what I'm worried about.
Fingers?
Mm-hmm.
They seem normal to me.
How does the shadow do that? I'm very perplexed.
It seems like Sharp's shadow's fine. I assume you lay him down or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna lie him down on the counter.
Is he alive? And I'll just give him a little kick in the side.
He is, but the mask won't come off.
Is he cured?
I have no idea, but look, you can't get the finger, nothing. The mask is stuck on his face.
I wonder if Hamarath would have a way to get it off. He's got those chemistry type stuff, potions, and maybe we could put some oil on it.
Perhaps, but because it doesn't seem like the mask has shrunk or his face has expanded, and it's very hard to the touch. It might be something more arcane in nature, but I'm not an expert on the subject.
Is Hamarath with us?
No, Hamarath has left to take care of some business as he prepares to join your crew. Plus, he actually lives in the area, so he's got a wife and I think he has a kid.
Guess we just let him sleep it off?
Well, he's been sleeping, and how hot is this to the touch?
It's pretty hot. You wouldn't be able to just hold your hand to it. It doesn't immediately burn, blister you by touching it, but it's very uncomfortable. So it would be, you're curious as to how Sharp is remaining unconscious without, extreme pain, or if he is in extreme pain, he's not able to show it. But his skin doesn't appear red or blistering around the sides of the mask.
Maybe you should pour a bucket of water over his face.
That's not a bad idea. Nothing else that would be interesting to see what happens.
Well, I can't do it.
Why not?
I could maybe with my elbows.
Yeah, it would be entertaining to watch, but I think we're in a bit of a hurry here. And I'll go see if I can find a bucket of water here.
Sure. So there has been some rain lately, and the Sparkling Alchemist has some rain-catching barrels to provide for some water. So you're able to find water, and you're able to find a bucket.
I just took a piss. There's bound to be the bucket.
I mean, you could do that too.
Just skip the bucket.
So as you pour liquid whatever liquid you choose to use
Most likely water. I'm a nice person.
over Sharp's face. It doesn't seem to do anything other than, pouring water on him. The mask gets wet. It still seems just as hot touching it afterwards as it did before the mask.
Do the
Before
droplets
pouring it
steam
on.
off?
No, it's not hot enough to cause water to steam. I mean, if the water was like almost freezing, maybe, but this water is probably room temperature.
Okay. Well, that didn't seem to help with much of anything. I think we're going to have to get some help from an expert. Joe, don't you have that friend of yours who recommended this? Isn't he some kind of magic scholar person thing?
What are you talking about?
The guy at the college?
That's
think
not my
that's-
guy.
I think that was Sharp's friend.
Oh, was that Sharp's? I don't remember. Okay,
Yeah.
Sharp. Shit. Okay, we're going to have to go see Sharp's friend then. And ask him about it. I think we should leave Sharp here.
Hurl Thrumbo Johns.
Herlo Thrumbo Johns, associate professor at Moorgrape University. Herlo for short. At least that's what Sharp calls him. So is that what all you guys are doing? Going to find Herlo?
I think we should go in 3 separate directions and 3 separate things.
Well-
No, I mean, that's our best.
But it might be a good idea if we have Dag wait here to keep an eye on Sharp. Just in case anything
Just in case he
happens.
wakes up. That's
in case he
fine.
wakes up, yeah.
Well, if somebody comes and tries to get it,
Well, we can hide them upstairs. I mean, do we really want to go around this area dragging the unconscious body of Sharp with us?
no,
With
absolutely
the
not.
stolen mask on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bar the door after you leave. And we'll turn off the lights on the main level and
Yeah, okay. Quick question. Are there bedrooms in this place that we're staying in?
There are, but I don't think you guys took any time to furnish this place yet, so everything's pretty beat up.
Okay.
If you did find any furniture, it's probably broken.
Okay. That was my idea for this episode, but never mind. I'm going to do interior decorating, but oh well. Okay, we'll put him in one of the rooms, clear out some of the stuff, and if you can keep an eye on him, that'll be great.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, move Sharp upstairs, see if I can get Joe to help with that, but that might be a bit much. Does Joe remember the nice things said about him? That will determine if he helps or not.
No, I'll definitely help you.
I would
Okay.
say even if Joe doesn't consciously remember the specifics, Joe would maintain your more positive attitude towards Sharp. You might not be able to consciously put a finger on why, but whatever the Ryadrans did to you, it wouldn't change your core personality. At least not so far as you can tell.
Okay. Yeah. We'll help him up the stairs. Carry him.
Without bumping his head on every step, it will be a huge improvement for how I got him here.
So which one of you wants to do the athletics check? The other one will help, so it'll be an advantage.
Would Joe like to do the athletics? Because I have only a +1 there, and I'm not trained in it.
I have a +4. I'll do it.
Yay!
Hey, how's it look? Oh, look at that. 5 and a 4. So that would be 9.
So as you guys are climbing up the stairs to the bedrooms of the Sparkling Alchemist, this crickety old place, it doesn't like all the weight that you're putting, and so at one point, Jofar, you take a step and your foot goes right through one of the stairs. So you and Sharp both begin to fall. Solana, you can, as a reaction, if you wanted to do something to try and help avoid them from falling, you could.
Now, are they falling straight down the stairs, like we just collapsed the whole damn thing, or are they just falling forward or backwards or something?
No, so with the way that Jofar's foot fell and the way that the weight is distributed, like it's causing you get the two of them to kind of fall back, but Joe's foot is still in the hole, so could get bad.
Yeah. In that case, I am going to grab onto Sharp with one arm, pull myself forward, and just grab onto the back of Joe and push him forwards as best I can. It's okay if his legs go ahead and touch the ground, just as long as we don't slam his head into anything.
Okay. I would allow you to use acrobatics.
Okay.
Because you're kind of redirecting forces.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a natural 20 plus 6.
Okay, so you could just say what happens. What did you envision, and it happens exactly like that, perhaps even better.
Yep. I slip my arm underneath underneath Sharp, drag it across his back so he's not falling, pushing him forward slightly to help keep them from falling backwards. Then I grab Joe by the back and just push and pull upward slightly so he can get his leg out effectively.
All right, so you guys managed to avoid a tumble. Dag, you're hearing this from the bottom of the stairs, I imagine, all this crashing and wood breaking.
Dash over there and look. I said, will you guys be careful?
This place is very cheaply made.
I think it's great.
Careful of the stairs, you don't fall through.
I think the wood needs some work. Perhaps we should go ahead and call a carpenter to redo some of it.
So yeah, you guys are able to go upstairs and you can find a room to put Sharp. Mostly somewhat comfortably.
Now on, whenever we go upstairs, we have to make an athletics or acrobatics check to do so. Oh, that was an adventure and a half. Should we, what time of day is it? That's a bad question.
Probably about 3, 4 in the afternoon.
And how long will it take us to get down to the university?
So, probably an hour. You guys have been there before. And I think it's on this level, the middle Sharn anyways, I think.
Okay then. Sharp, should we go ahead and make our way down?
He's not responding.
Nope, he's not. Oh well. Joe, I guess it's just you and me then.
Just us.
I was hoping I could trick him into talking and he was faking the entire time. No such luck.
All right, so you guys get to Moorgrave University. Solana, you've been there before, right? To speak with Herlo?
Yes, I went when we all went that one time.
Okay, so with your keen mind, you'd know exactly where it is and what office is his.
Okay.
So you get to his door,
I knock on the door.
After a few moments, you hear a bunch of papers rustling, and somebody. It sounds like a thud and an ouch, and then a disheveled figure just kind of cracks the door open, looks out, takes a look at you, takes a look at Joe, looks back at Solana, looks back at Joe, and then shuts the door.
It has to do with Sharp.
Open the door. We're not they.
How do I know you're not they? You could be one of them. Changelings, disguise self. Lots of ways to fool people. Lots of
Yep.
ways.
You could be one too.
Sharp needs your help with a mask.
He very slowly opens the door and says, he kind of looks at you guys again. And then he splashes some kind of liquid on you guys. It smells of pickles. And then he seems to be satisfied with whatever, he was looking for. So he's like, all right, come on in.
Step on in.
And as usual, his office is a wreck full of papers everywhere. If they are organized, they're the organization of a truly madman.
I wait
All
for him
right.
to shut the door and lock it before I start.
Oh, he locks it. He has several locks that go click, 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 click. And then he turns to you and he says, all right, talk.
The mask is stuck to his face. I'm not sure
Okay.
how or why, but it's very hot and it's not coming off his face. The mask hasn't shrunk in size, and his face hasn't expanded. It's just stuck there.
Okay. So
What do you know about the mask?
I told you guys, not much. It's not really my area of expertise, if you know what I mean. But, nobody's, used this mask in this way in, 200 years. Nobody even knew what it could do. So there's not really, an owner's manual.
Well, do me a favor. We're not even sure if it went ahead and cured him. What we do know is it's stuck to his face right now and we can't get it off. I'm wondering, could it be something arcane in nature? Magical in its aspects?
1 second.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, hell, it probably is magic. I mean, you don't need to be a wizard to know that much.
Yes, but would there be a way to dispel it? To stop
Are
it from
you
doing
sure
whatever
you
it's
want
doing?
to? It
I'm not
might be
sure.
working exactly as advertised.
It might be for all we know. However, he's unconscious and hasn't woken up all day. In 2 days now.
Okay. Once again, nobody knows how this mask works. Nobody knows if it actually even does the thing that I thought maybe it could possibly do based on, third-hand accounts and legends and such. I'm surprised that you even got it out, let alone, used it.
Or do you know anyone who is an expert on the subject?
Not here. You'd have to go out to Flamekeep if you were probably, other places in Thrain, but you'd have to go to Thrain to get somebody that's that kind of an expert on the Church of the Silver Flames history around the Purge and all that.
The lightning rail comes here, right, to Sean?
It does, but it would still take a while. Yeah, just because it's a lightning rail doesn't mean it's fast.
Yeah, not as fast as lightning. It's a lie, false advertising. We should file a lawsuit.
I mean, sure, there might be some other experts in the Church of the Silver Flame around. Maybe even here at this university, but I don't know any of them.
Do you have anyone here who you trust?
No. Does it look like I trust many people? I don't even trust Sharp. But, I own them.
That sounds about right. Well, I'm not sure if we should be concerned or not. If he takes more than 4 days without eating or drinking anything, I worry about his health. What would you suggest? We just keep an eye on him?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, he's still breathing, right?
Last time I checked.
So, step in the right direction.
Well, in a direction, for sure.
Like I said, I know my religions and everything. Church of the Silver Flame, though, that's not one of them. I'm mostly Sovereign Host and, the Dark Six, all that. I also dabbled in, Blood of Vol and even a couple of lesser-known ones. But Church of the Silver Flame, most of my knowledge about that place is within the political structures within the church. Not so much on lore, not so much on, all that mumbo-jumbo.
What is the political structure of the church? Is it a unified group at the moment?
Yeah, that's not really a simple answer.
Nothing in life today seems to be. Oh.
Yeah, if you had an hour or two, I might be able to break down the gist of it, but I don't think that's what you're here for.
Well, there's nothing we can really do, and we got someone looking over shop already. I'm up for it.
How about this guy? He kind of motions to Jofar.
I really can't stay. I got places to be.
If it tells me any information I might be able to use in the future, I definitely sit and stay. I mean, I am trained in religion.
All right. Well, so Jofar, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna walk out, leave Solana there, or?
So he's going to give us the political structure of the Church of the Silver Flame.
Well, he's gonna talk about some of the politics that define the hierarchy.
Might be able to find someone who isn't quite convinced with the current opinions towards were creatures.
I mean, that makes sense, but I've got somewhere to be, so I really don't want to be late. So I will kindly ask him to leave, which I'm sure he would be delighted to get rid of me.
Yeah, especially after your first encounter with him.
Mm-hmm.
So Solana, are you gonna just stay there and listen to Hurlo spout at you while Jofar leaves?
I am, but check the chat in half a second.
Okay. Okay. So I will send you an email after the session with all the things that you learned from Hurlo.
Okay.
So Dag, let's come back to you. What are you up to? It's actually probably getting close to the time when you should be meeting up with the Jurasco healer. I forgot his name.
Oh, I don't know that I wrote it down. Dr. Feelgood.
Rasco Park.
And-
Mr. Glassarch.
Yeah, Glass Arch to Jurasco. It's a weird name.
Yeah. Well, I would have known that.
Well, we could also say that you would have gone earlier in the day, maybe before Solana and came back. So we could say that.
Joe took me earlier in the day.
Right.
I like that.
So your hands are still pretty heavily bandaged, obviously,
Right.
because you had Jofar help you with the bathroom. You still don't have really good use of them, but they are feeling much better. And you're more confident that, even though they're bandaged and you can't really use your fingers, you can at least use your hands to hold things, kind of like
Rested on top of it. Yeah.
So.
Sure. So while they're gone, I could just see Dad kind of sitting next to Joe and just talking, rattling, next to Sharp, just talking a mile a minute, telling him a story about this, telling him about the story of that, and Sharp, I hope you're okay. I'm really glad you don't have to kill yourself. I really hope you don't have to kill yourself. And it looks like it might have worked on Silhana, and so, and then just blah 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 blah, and
so as you're going on and on, eventually, you hear.
Roll for initiative.
Coming from Sharp.
Sharp, are you there? And I could see I start batting him lightly with my clubby hands on either side of the head. You there? Or maybe on the other side, kind of shaking his head.
So as you do that, he swings a clumsy fist at you to try and strike you.
And I just kind of roll away. Sharp, you okay? You alive? Say something.
And then he kind of clumsily turns over, and seems like he pushes himself to his feet. He's swaying, like you might expect, like a drunk person, and he's just kind of standing there.
Oh, lay back down. You're obviously not feeling so good. Sleep. You just rest, Sharp.
At that, you notice that his eyes seem to be closed.
So behind his mask, right? He's
right behind his mask. His eyes are closed. So, but you see him begin to swing, like he's punching at something that's not there.
Oh, and I'll use the tech my wife uses when I sleep talk. So, you got him, Sharp. You're such a good aim, such a good battler. You can rest now.
So as that happens, his face, even though his eyes are closed, his face turns to you, and he summons one of his eldritch weapons into his hand.
No!
This one is his longsword. And he swings it at you.
Dodge?
Remember, it's standard array we're using.
So, let's see. Oh, yeah. He's definitely going to hit you with that.
Oh.
So, you take, but it's only a nick, so you only take, 3 damage.
Okay.
As he kind of
however,
slashes across your shoulder.
Yeah. 3 damage?
Yeah.
Now, what levels of exhaustion do I have? Am I past that? I'm going to the doctor every day. I know my hands are incapacitated.
Well, you've had 2 days of rest since the heist, so I imagine you've probably healed most of your exhaustion levels. You might have 1 left, but that only covers ability checks. So
okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna try to persuade him to calm down and rest while I actively take the dodge action.
Okay.
Trying to make sure he doesn't fall down the stairs for one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he keeps clumsily trying to strike you, and swinging his sword very haphazardly. And at one point, he even raises out his other hand, and you don't see anything, but it punches a hole in the wall.
No. Calm down, Sharp. And maybe I'll lock him into what, I don't know what state the doors of the bedrooms are.
They're not great.
But maybe I could close one with him in the room.
Sure.
We'll try to do that.
Okay. So as you do that, you do hear that he seems to continue like stumbling around through the door. You hear him like striking wood from time to time with his sword. You hear a lot of heavy thuds coming from in the room. He, at a couple of points, you even see the sword kind of puncture the door, though it isn't able to break the door outright. So, and that lasts probably for an hour before you hear him collapse.
Yeah, so I'd probably wait another 10 minutes, right? He gets in, and I just keep waiting to hear for the next thud or slam. And after 10 minutes or so goes by, I would peek in there and take a look.
Yeah, so he's collapsed. His arms and legs are all kind of going in different directions. Not like injured wise, but just like him falling like a drunk person. His weapon is no longer there. You see there's lots of damage that he's done to the room, the walls and the floor, and even a couple of spots in the ceiling.
Oh my. Well, we'll make this his room.
You think that's bad? You should see him drunk.
And so I check to make sure he's alive and breathing, right? But otherwise, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to close the door, and I'll sit outside of that room.
Okay. All right. So Jofar, with the thing that you were wanting to do you want to do it in session or outside of session? Like, basically, I want to know, do you want to reveal to everybody what you're doing, or do you want to keep it secret for the time being?
I don't know. Keeping it secret makes it really boring for everybody else. So.
Well, I mean, we're probably not going to go much longer anyways.
Entirely up to you.
It is a school night.
It has to be at school.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, that's cool. We can do that off camera.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. All right, so, yeah, and Herlo is going to be talking at you, Solana, probably for. I mean,
I'm not planning on sleeping tonight anyway.
He'll go on and on for as long as you're willing to listen.
Oh, if in regards to this, yeah, I will listen all night long.
Okay.
This is very important that we get this taken care of.
All right. So then I'll send you an email with the things that you learn.
Okay.
Jofar, we can go through email with what you want to do. Dag, is there anything that you wanted or needed in the off weeks?
So you're talking about our week of rest or week downtime?
Well, so that's a good point. So Sharp is likely going to be in this coma or in this state for a while. It's going to go on for more than a few days. So that's one thing to kind of consider as well. So if there were other things that you wanted to do during the week, and if you wanted to kind of describe how you keep Sharp safe, because this is not going to be the only time he kind of gets up like that.
Yeah, so if I really thought he was going to, I would try to trip him, just make him fall down and pick himself up. By falling down and picking himself up a number of times would cause him to get exhausted again, I would hope. And I'd be, so the series of dodging and dashing around, I pictured myself as the nimble, dexterous fighter against the big lumbering ox fighter. And I'm just kind of, as best I can with my nubbins.
Right.
But some sweeping leg attacks and dodges to get him exhausted again. But we're talking days that I would have alone with him?
Well, no, you wouldn't be alone with him. You'll probably be alone with him for a few more hours. I imagine Jofar and Solana. Well, Solana, you might come home in the morning, but Jofar, are you planning to be back before nightfall or?
Yeah, my appointment is probably like an hour.
Okay.
So I know that Dag is there by himself and injured, so I wouldn't want to just like hang out.
Right. So
back.
Okay. So Dag, you wouldn't have to worry about that too much. Sharp is not going to get up again before Jofar gets back.
Okay. Yes. So otherwise, through the rest of the week, if that's where you're headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dag's gonna be so carousing in a non-relational boy-girl way. Yeah, he's going to building a network in town. He would be particularly interested in Hammereth and his family, so he would be like bugging him to meet the wife and the kids. And Dag would just love to spend an hour or two playing with those kids. And Dag has introduced himself to all the neighbors, and that probably been to the store, the shop where the general goods would be, and because he's starting to scope out what he might want for furnishings. Not that he's bought anything yet, but he's definitely building relationships. Wherever he goes, he's trying to build relationships and get to know people, learn what they're about, learn what needs they might have, because he's always looking to help someone if he can in any way he can. And yeah, so that's what carousing, I guess, is what I would call it.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's the classic D&D carousing is basically like going around making a network, finding, discovering rumors or whatever. So in terms of that, because I actually have a system worked out for it, I think.
I know that was
I don't have carousing in here.
One of the official D&D ones is carousing.
Yep.
So I think I don't have a official system for that one, just because it involves so many different things. But
yeah,
during the week I'll ask for a couple of checks, maybe just to see how much detail you get about the surrounding town and the different things that you might be, and we can go back and forth about what you want to be looking for versus what you find and things like that.
Okay.
All right. And then before we end tonight, let me just make sure that I'm sending myself an email to remember what I'm doing with each of you. So
Now, we're going to have downtime more than just the few hours we're gone for, correct?
right. So we got Dag is carousing.
I'm going to see about getting this place cleaned out quite a bit and getting some furniture in here if I can, making the place look like an office we can use. I don't know what it's going to cost, but, just make it so we can actually use this place as an office and also a home for most of us.
So procuring furniture and fixing place up.
Yeah.
Peter, other than Jofar's appointment, is there anything else that you wanted to do over the next week or so?
No, that was basically just going to involve that in making sure that Sharp is all right considering his condition, and that Dag make sure he heals up, and then Sylvana make sure whatever. I don't know if she's still dealing with her issue. Make sure that gets taken care of.
Maybe. My shadow would say yes.
All right, so Peter, your appointment. Dag, carousing and healing. Solana, furniture, fixing place up, and listening to Hurlo.
Yep.
All righty.
Also intently watching what's happening with Sharp, just because I'm terrified.
Did we have a full moon in this week, or?
Let me check.
Like 2 days left of the 8-day full moon thing.
So, you guys are now in the month of Olaron.
What's the day in Olrune right now? First, second, third?
It's let's see. So when we're ending the session tonight, it's Olaroon, the second of Olaroon. And in this week, well, how would you know if there's going to be a full moon?
Well, there's sky where we're at, right?
I think they asked me because I made a survival check last time.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to make another spy check?
Yep, I can do that. 24.
Okay. Yeah, you would know. This week there's only 2 days that doesn't have a full moon.
And I would relay that information.
At least one full moon. There's some nights with several.
Sharp, if anything happens to me, tie me down in a room somewhere and don't let me go anywhere. It would work a lot better if I remembered his name was Joe not Sharp. I always confuse the two of them. They look the exact same on camera. It's the most annoying thing ever.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do before we finish up tonight?
Mm-mm.
All right. I appreciate you guys meeting a bit later and doing an abbreviated section. And then we will meet back again in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
All right. And I know I've been really terrible lately about the emails. So if you don't hear from me, please feel free to bug me as much as you guys want. I will do my best to respond in a timely manner, but hold me accountable if I'm not getting you what you need.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right.